When the Amazon influencer program started, basically any video you posted, you would make a lot of money on it if it was a popular item. I joined about 3 years ago, and at that time, it's kind of like the peak of the Amazon influencer program right before it kind of started going down, getting oversaturated. And since that time, the earnings for the Amazon influencer program have kind of just been going continually down. Fortunately, though, for me, year over year, I've been able to increase my earnings. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips for how you can make more money doing product review videos in the Amazon influencer program or on other platforms where you might be uploading your videos. Before I start with the 5 tips, let me kind of give you a baseline for where I am at right now, where I've been in the past. So let's do an earnings report for this past month of April. If we look at where I was a year ago at this time, I had made just over $9,000 for the month of April. If we go back to last month, it's up to about $15,000. These are all the different categories I earned in, and for the total, it was about $14,600. So while it is down from the previous month, it is also up significantly from last year. And I find that the late winter and early spring months are always kind of lower than the rest of the year. So I expect this is going to gradually start going up, hopefully. A couple things to point out for this past month. Creator rewards. Up until this point, I've been getting them about every month. That's when Amazon pays you some extra money if you hit certain tiers of revenue. They drastically increased that for this quarter, so I'm probably not going to hit it at all this quarter. But the good news is that they have been totally ramping up creator connections. I'm going to talk about that later on in this video. So let's get to the 5 tips. Tip number 5 is hopefully something that you're already doing. It is simply to post your videos on different platforms. Now, I don't think you should always be doing that. I think you should experiment, post videos on different platforms for a while, see how it does for you, and then focus on those platforms that do well. Obviously, you should be posting everything to Amazon Influencer Program. Beyond that, I do recommend everyone post on YouTube, but there's other platforms like TikTok or Flip or Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Experiment and try things on different platforms. Let me go ahead and show you why. So here's an image of my top 10 performing videos for the past month. On YouTube, you can get an idea of how many views I'm getting. Let's go ahead and compare that with Amazon. I'm getting far fewer views in Amazon, though I do have a lot more videos in Amazon. But the other thing to notice as I go back and forth between these two graphics, all of the top performing videos are different. The videos that do well in Amazon don't necessarily do well in YouTube. And if we look at TikTok, same deal. My videos that are doing well in TikTok aren't necessarily doing well in YouTube or Amazon. So the point here is different platforms give you different results. Maybe your style works well for one platform, but not the other. You're never going to know that unless you're posting to different platforms and experimenting to see what works well for you. Tip number 4, sign up for websites that offer extra commissions. There are a lot of third-party companies that will work with you to give you extra commissions for the things that you are selling on top of the commissions you're already earning from Amazon. There's a lot there. I'll briefly talk about my 3 favorite. Wayward is one of my favorites, and the main reason it's one of my favorites is because all I had to do was add my API key for Genius Link, and that's something I'll probably talk about in another video. It kind of just helps with links, but because it has such a simple integration, all I had to do was add the link once. That's it, and then every month I earn about $50 to $100 doing absolutely nothing. Levanta is very similar. I just had to add the API link once, and then again, I just let the revenue come in. Around the Christmas season, I was earning anywhere between $200 and $500 a month on this program just by adding a simple API link and having Levanta automatically link to my affiliate links. So again, super simple. Both Wayward and Levanta, I've been using my Genius Link API key, which makes it easy. But if you don't have Genius Link, you can still generate links from these platforms, but it is a lot more work. Now, this last company is called Logi, and instead of using an API link, they have a Chrome extension that you can install on your browser, and the Chrome extension does some things in the background to pull your data. So again, this is automated. You just sign up for the program, you set everything up, and then if sellers have items that are on the platform and you're already selling them, you will get extra commissions for that. The nice things with these third parties is I'm earning anywhere from about $300 to $500, even up to close to to 1,000 each month just by doing next to nothing and taking advantage of them linking me up with the sellers and giving me higher commissions. Another benefit to these third parties is a lot of them make it easy to reach out to sellers. So if you want to get some free samples or something like that, you can do that on these platforms. And Logi, for example, will automatically send out free items to you. So that's another added benefit. Tip number 3, ask for money. This is something I didn't really do until about 2 or 3 years ago. I would always do reviews for free, and then I started asking for money, and I was surprised that people were willing to pay me pretty good money to make a video for them. So now what I do is in my email, I have an email template. So if someone sends me a message asking me to review something, I just open up the email template. It says, boom, here are my rates. Here's the exact email template I use. I've blurred out some of the numbers because I changed these quite a bit, but this should give you a good idea. The advantage of doing this is not only does this possibly give you money from the agents or sellers working with you, but it also does a great job setting expectations. When I send this out, the sellers know about how long my video is going to be, where I'm going to put the video. And a lot of times sellers after the fact, they say, oh, hey, I really like your video. Can we use that for our own stuff? I can go back to this email and say, yeah, sure, that's totally fine. As I said in my previous email, here's my rate for that. If you want to pay me that amount of money, I will send you my video file. So it makes things a lot easier in the long run. And on average, I earn about $1,000 to $2,000 in these sponsored posts. So it's a great way to earn extra money just by having an email template and sending it out to people. A lot of times people say, hey, we can't pay you. And if it's something I want enough, I'll say, that's okay. I'll waive the fee. I'll do it for free. But most of the time, this is just a great way to weed out people I don't really want to work with in the first place. Tip number 2 is to take advantage of Amazon's creator connections. This is something I joined probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And when I first joined, I thought this was dumb. I didn't really get it. I was probably making an extra $5 a month, so I didn't really care for it. But Amazon in the past few months, they have been ramping up creator connections like crazy. There have been a ton of sellers joining the program. So if you've already made videos, there's a good chance that some of those can be applied to go with creator connections so you can earn extra income. Let me show you a graphic of my commissions for this year. I've blurred out the numbers, but you can see from the bar graphs that the trend is going downward. Now let me show you creator connections, and you can see that the trend is definitely going way up at a very fast rate. This past month, I earned over $6,000 on creator connections alone. It is now by far my biggest stream of income. I'm not going to go too deep into this other than saying join creator connections if you can. Go to the page at least every day. Look for campaigns you can join. This is something I'd be happy to do a video on. If you're interested, let me know. And then my number 1 tip for making more money doing product review videos is simply to do comparison or guide videos. Let me tell you what I mean by that. If we go back and look at my top 10 videos on Amazon for last month, about 6 or 7 of those were videos where I either compared 2 products or did kind of a general video about a category of products. For example, if you look at the number 10 video, I kind of made number 7 on the side because that was just a single product that I reviewed, but instead of talking about that product specifically, I talked about that product in general. So it was a dehumidifier, and rather than me just saying, this is the dehumidifier, this is how it worked, I talked about it in general terms and said, this is in general how dehumidifiers work. Let me use this one item to show you that. I make a ton of review videos, and probably only 5% of what I make are comparison or guide videos, but they are by far my most popular videos. If we look at my top 10 videos from Amazon, you can see the same thing. 6 of my top 10 performing videos are videos where I am doing a guide video or comparing multiple different products. I've got these 2 electric shavers on my desk, so let me use this as an example as to what I mean. If you're doing a comparison video, you can say, here's razor number 1, here's razor number 2. Razor number 1 is a foil shaver, razor number 2 is a rotary shaver. This one's quite small, this one's quite large. This is great for travel. This has amazing battery life and things like that. The nice thing about this is if you review 2 items and and you pick one item that's really, really popular, that can bring more views to the other less popular item. You can make money on both items, and I find that Amazon tends to favor videos like that. And so if you want good video placement on a really popular item, do a comparison video, and it seems that Amazon pushes that up more. Now, as far as a general guide video goes, again, if I use these shavers or razors as an example, I could say there are two main types of electric shavers. One type is a foil shaver, one type is a rotary shaver. Some shavers charge with USB-C. Some shavers have proprietary cables that you have to use and you're going to lose after a month. Some shavers are really easy to clean. This is the thing to look for if you want an easy to clean shaver. You basically talk about the category in general. You let your audience know what things that they can be looking for so they know what is best for them. In general, I try to only demonstrate products. I don't share my opinion a whole lot because people have different opinions. I could say this shaver is the best shaver because it gets me the closest shave, but realistically, someone might like this shaver more because it's really inexpensive and it has really good battery life. I don't need to share my opinion. I can share the facts. I can tell people what they should know. These are the videos that do well for me. So those are my top 5 tips. Hopefully some of those helped you. Thanks for watching.